There are 3 Pokemon to buy if you're just starting Pokemon Unite this year, and we're going to start with each lane. Bottom lane, Sylveon, 100%. This Pokemon is a tank, it does so much damage, it's just so useful as soon as you get to level 4. Okay, when you're an Eevee, you are pathetic. But at the bottom lane, there's enough experience. As soon as you've got Mystical Fire, you've got the mobility. You can bounce around and you can do damage. Okay, you can see in this clip here, I'm hitting the middle farm. That's the enemy jungler, by the way, and a Lucario. I'm sitting on like a third to a quarter health. The potion heals me up, and then the Draining Kiss and the mobility of Mystical Fire. I forced their jungler to run away because I've got the mobility to move around. I've got the dash, which is super useful. And you can see you've got enough damage and sustain. Here I'm versing a Power Punch Lucario. And I'm pretty much just melting it. Okay, he's tried to heal up there. I've popped my potion, so I'm pretty much back to full HP and the Draining Kiss. And when you're approaching this Rayquaza fight, you've got the sustain. You can dive in, you can do so much damage, because what his Unite move will do is it will heal a proportion of damage that you're dealing to the enemies. Mystical Fire is really nice. It dashes around and it lowers the attack that they're going to do to you. So it deals damage, it's mobility, and you can see there I get a little bit caught. So I use that Unite move, I get a big shield with my Buddy Barrier, and I'm able to just completely dash through here. And we sweep the team and we win the game. And as you can see, you get the kills, you get the assists, but look at the damage dealt and the damage taken and the healing. There's so much versatility, there's so much potential, and it's just so much fun to use. Now, let's talk about the jungle. Now please do this, if somebody else takes the jungle, just go to a lane. Okay, here nobody wanted to step up and take jungle, so you go in, and the perfect Pokemon to do this with is Cinderace. He's so easy to use, he's simple, the build is nice and simple. You've got Eject to dash away, you've got the Scope Lens, the Muscle Band, and the Rapid Fire Cannon, just so your basics are dealing a whole bunch of damage. Okay, the goal with this Pokemon is you want to use his Unite move to kill people. Please don't use his Unite move to try and steal the objective or something silly like that. He's got so much range, and Flame Charge as a move, it's sort of like an eject button. You dash in a certain direction, and Blaze Kick gives you enough mobility to move around. So here at this final fight, you can see you never want to over push when you're using this character. My team's they're going crazy, they're super deep. I don't want to do that because I've got the range to kill them as soon as they step out. Kind of as soon as they're jungle there, I'm not stepping in that zone there unless if it is absolutely safe to do so. So I'm just playing it out, I'm playing it safe, I'm waiting for the enemy to overstep. That way the character's got so much range. You can see this Delphox, he's just out. Okay, there's no way he can't. And then again, I'm in that bush, and always reset if you need to. And so the game, here you can see I pull the Unite move to do as much damage as I can. Perfect Pokemon to jungle with. Okay, easy to pick up, a lot of fun to use. And again, you just want to be hitting those enemies with as much range as possible. So you don't want to be too close to them. You can see when you're holding the A button or the B button, you've got the circle around you, that's his range. So you can see I'm hitting this Rayquaza. We've killed 4 people on the enemy team. That's a good sign to start hitting the objective. And once we've got that Rayquaza, we want to go and score our goals. So amazing Pokemon to use in the jungle. Nice and simple, not a whole lot going on with his skills. Pretty easy to use. And here we wrap up the game super nice. So we get a lot of scores, and it's just a lot of fun to use. So this Pokemon is super fun to use. I don't recommend doing it every single game. Let people have a turn in the jungle. But when you use this character, you want to have a good ratio of damage dealt to damage taken. So 83 to 20, that's a pretty spicy ratio, 4 to 1. So that's bottom lane sorted, jungle sorted. Now if you've got top lane to go to, Ninetales is your pick. You've got a nice basic build, the 2 bands and the rapid fire scarf. You want to make sure you've got that eject button so you've got the mobility. The only weakness Ninetales has is he's so slow. He's super slow. But the 2 skills you want to pick is Dazzling Gleam and Aurora Vow. what Aurora Veil is going to do is it gives you a dash, and Dazzling Gleam gives you a nice stun. Now this Pokemon, again, you can see I'm keeping my range, and I always want to make sure I'm keeping a bit of range. He's got amazing crowd control. He's able to freeze, and if in doubt, if you're in a bit of danger, you can just eject button away. So when you get that Ninetales, it's a nice early evolution, level 4. You can just do so much damage so early. He's super good in the lane. Here you can see that Rowlet was trying to pick a fight, not with a Ninetales, right? Now again, you don't want to overstep it with this character because you don't need to. Okay, you don't want to score, you just want to keep your distance, and you're just controlling the lane. Okay, super fun to use, top laner, really consistent with the level 4 evolution. And if you get that, see that jungler's come up, he took me by surprise, I was able to eject away. You just stand on the base and you just fire out those basic attacks. You're just holding A from that nice distance. And then when you hit your level 6, you get Aurora Veil, which is a really good move. You're able to just sustain a lot more, do more damage, and it's just a whole lot of fun to use. Now I just want to talk over the last 2 minutes with Ninetales because it can be a little tricky. His mobility is not good, so you need to make sure you're in the right position. Again, similar to Cinderace, you don't want to overstep the mark. So you can see the Urshifu comes, I'm dashing away straight away. I want to dive to safety, and I'm able to return fire when I'm in a safe position to do so. Now he gets himself caught because there's a lot of crowd control, and then with Ninetales' Unite move, it does a lot of damage to a group. So you can see, I see a group of them, I pick off that Unite, and then I'm able to just do a whole lot more damage. And that's so useful for my team because as you can see, I'm the last one alive here, and I've managed to pick up quite a few KOs there. I've got 4, and then we're just trying to deal with this Mr. Mime, which I know I'm going to win that fight, and we're able to pick up the 5th KO on that Mr. Mime. So then you've killed the enemy team. It's the perfect time to go and try and get that Rayquaza as a team. Now of course you can see the Pikachu floating, there's a chance you might not get it, and there you go. The Pikachu's stolen it, but that's okay. You've done what you can and you can still win the game. So here I look to go on defense, and that's what I'm doing. So this Pikachu comes, I'm able to just I'm slowing him down, dealing enough damage to him so he's not going to be able to score there, and I actually pick up the kill, which is super nice. And then I base to get that health back. So you can see, even if you don't get the Rayquaza, you can still win the game. Because if an enemy's dead when the Rayquaza is secured, they don't get all the bonuses that Rayquaza gives you. Okay, it's not like there used to be Zapdos. That wasn't fun. This Rayquaza, it's a lot more balanced. So you want to try and get those kills as a team. You can see my team tries to forfeit there, but we still end up winning the game just. And the damage numbers, again with Ninetales, once you get the hang of this Pokemon, you want to keep a healthy ratio, but it's going to do so much damage.